Hello and welcome to Creator Weekly Live for September 1st, 2024. I'm Peggy Kay, and today we're going to talk about updates for YouTube, for Twitch, for Tumblr, Threads, a whole bunch of things. So first I want to say welcome to everyone who is in the live chat today. Thank you for joining me. And if you're in the US, I hope you're having a great Labor Day weekend. Here, it's been really nice weather, sunny. I can't complain about any of that. So it's not fall yet, even though usually we kind of behave like Labor Day is the end of summer. But I think we're going to have summer here in the Bay Area for a little while longer. Craig says, when I was young, Labor Day was depressing since it meant going back to school. Yeah, and here in my area, people, they went back to school 1 week, 2 weeks ago. So that is not great for kids. They have a short summer, but that's the way things are. All right, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about today is an update on YouTube about courses. You can go to youtube.com/courses to see some highlighted courses. That isn't all of them. Those are just select courses. And what YouTube announced is that they are going to expand courses to more creators. Courses are like a special kind of playlist. Same idea as podcasts, where you put your episodes in a podcast playlist and then it becomes a podcast in YouTube Music and so forth. This is a course playlist, and some of the special features it has include being able to create a quiz that's linked to a specific video in the course, and then the quiz would be in the video description. And if you go to the playlist page for the course, you'll see that it looks like a regular playlist mostly, but there is a discussion button. And if you click the discussion button, you can start a discussion about the course itself. I looked at a bunch of the courses that are currently available, and none of them had any discussions yet, but I think this is early days. So this is not expanding to everyone, to all creators, at least not yet. And YouTube hasn't said what the criteria are. It may be that you need to have an educational kind of channel. I'm not sure, but look on the courses page for the current highlighted courses, and you can see how interesting they are. You'll note that some of them are paid courses. So this is a potential revenue stream for creators once this launches more widely. So look for YouTube courses. The other update for YouTube that I wanted to highlight today, and is an AI update. I know some of you guys aren't that keen on the AI tools YouTube and other platforms have, but they're here and there's more of them. This week, YouTube announced that they are expanding their test of the AI-generated comment topics into all languages that are supported for comments. So the idea is that you're on a video, it has a really big comment section. Up at the top of the comment section, you'll see the little buttons for topics, and you can kind of get an idea about what people are talking about. You can click that and see more. And these topics are generative AI based. And this seems like actually a pretty useful way to use the AI tools, it's not trying to write descriptions or do anything complex. It's just pulling out topics. It will obviously get it wrong sometimes because it does. I don't know if you guys follow the various news, but there has been some discussion that YouTube's AI-based live chat summaries. So these are summaries of what's happening in the chat for a live stream. Some of those are not good. And you can see a link if you subscribe to my newsletter or look at my blog post, link in the description. You can learn more and see an example where YouTube's AI summary of the live chat sometimes goes very, very wrong. It's in part because in a live chat, it's fast moving. People are making jokes and inside references and stuff, and the generative AI tool can't figure that out sometimes. It's like talking to someone who takes everything completely literally. And like if I wrote, "Oh, you should break a leg," the AI would say, "Commenters believe that the streamer's leg should be broken," which is not the same thing, but the words are all there. So YouTube is still testing these things. It's early days. They do mention they can get things wrong. And if you are looking at a video that has a large comment section, keep an eye out for these topics and see what you think. Send feedback to YouTube if you like it, if you don't like it. And those are the updates for YouTube today. Nothing completely earth-shattering and nothing that you can try today, but I think things are getting interesting with the courses. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is an update on Twitch. And Twitch has had a bunch of updates recently. This update makes creating and sharing clips for mobile easier. Now, I think this is just rolling out to desktop to start. So what it is doing is if you create a clip from a Twitch stream, it will automatically create a vertical clip that's something that can be shared to your various social media and also to YouTube or TikTok. And this has an option for creators to allow their viewers to also share clips of their videos to their own YouTube or TikTok. So the idea is that it's not just the creator who can create a clip to share, it's viewers that can do that too, sort of spread it more widely. One of the things that concerns me when I read things like that is people make clips and they share them. And how does that actually help the original creator? If someone is on YouTube and they see this clip, are they going to go, "Oh, this is really great. I'm going to go over to Twitch and watch the stream there"? I'm not actually sure that's going to happen. But I will note that Twitch says specifically that on your profile, you should include your social links. And they say if you add social links, they will automatically tag your handle if you or your viewers share clips to YouTube or TikTok. So if you're streaming on Twitch, be sure to include a link to your YouTube or TikTok if you have those profiles. And maybe this means that you should at least create a placeholder. I'm not sure what the best practice is, and they'll try to link them together. So that is a pretty interesting way of trying to promote Twitch streams across different platforms. They also mentioned this week that they are adjusting some of the features that they announced last week, or was it the week before? Last week, where there's these drop-ins feature, people can drop in, and there was a real problem where when people dropped in for a collaborative stream, Twitch automatically turned on everyone's camera, which you think, oh, well, there's live streaming, this isn't a problem. But for VTubers, so VTubers use a special setup, and they basically have an animated, cartoon of themselves. They don't actually show their real face on camera. They don't share their real identity. So this is a problem that Twitch would automatically turn on their camera. So they've changed that. Now when someone does a drop-in, starts a collaborative stream, everyone's camera is turned off and it has to be manually turned on, which is how it should have been in the first place. So I'm going to switch gears here a little bit to talk about the updates on StreamYard. Now, I know some of you, I think, use StreamYard for live streaming. I've used it, but I'm just using a free account. But StreamYard was acquired by this company, Bending Spoons. That happened in April, I believe. And Bending Spoons is a company that acquires other companies. They have Evernote and Meetup and Filmic Pro and a whole bunch of other services that they acquired. And what they typically do is they get rid of the staff from the product that they acquired, replace them with their own team, and then raise their prices. And so, the part where they got rid of the main StreamYard founders and employees, they did that early on. Now they've announced a big revamp of new features and new plans. So the new StreamYard features sound pretty good. Let me just call that up. So they're talking about having reusable studios. If you have a recurring live stream, you don't need to make a new studio for each time you live stream. 4K local recordings, 1080p screen sharing. I didn't realize that it's always 720p before now. Different camera shapes so that, like I'm in a square right now, they have it so that you could be in a circle. And dark mode, so your dashboard isn't glaring in your face. These are great. These are almost all paid plan features, though, not available on the free plan. And this is the really huge change they're making, where they are totally redoing the plans. There used to be like 5 plans. Now there's going to be 3 plans: Core, Advanced, and Teams. And they're going to automatically move people from the plan they're on now to the most relevant plan. Now, one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting is that when I looked for the plans page, this is not a public page. If you try to go to the page that describes how much the plans cost, you have to be signed into your StreamYard account, which I always find a little bit dodgy. And when I do that, I still see the old plans. So I posted on social media, I posted on Threads, and someone said they know the prices, and the least expensive plan, the core plan, is going to be $49.99. I haven't confirmed this myself, but this is what someone said. This is a huge price increase because the basic plan for StreamYard is $20 a month. And so boosting the lowest level plan, even with the new features, to $50 a month is a huge increase. I think this is going to be a real pain point, and people have to decide, do they want to stick with StreamYard or move to a different platform that maybe is more affordable? So that's what's happening with StreamYard. I think, again, it was inevitable they would raise the prices. Uh, Eileen says she did a live stream about these StreamYard updates yesterday. I should definitely check out Eileen's channel for that with more information. I'd love to hear, Eileen, since you've used StreamYard, what you think about the updates. I think my sense is that the new features are good, and these are probably necessary updates, some of them, but the cost is a thing. So that is the last update video related today. I'm going to switch gears entirely now to talk about Tumblr. I don't know if any of you use Tumblr, but it's a popular kind of social and blogging platform. Oh, just a side note from Eileen. Yeah, Hoppian acquired StreamYard in 2021, and Bending Spoons acquired StreamYard from Hoppian this year. Yeah, it's been complicated. And one thing that I heard is that when Hoppian decided to sell StreamYard, that the founders tried to buy it back. And Hoppian probably just took the better deal for them. You know, it's one of those things where most companies like this, when they're at the point that they're selling off their services for parts, they just want to get the most amount of money. They don't really care necessarily about user experience and so forth. All right, so switching gears. Automatic announced this week that they are shipping Tumblr and WordPress. This is really kind of a cute headline. I'll note that if you follow fandoms, shipping is when you sort of make a relationship between your two favorite characters. So this is shipping Tumblr and WordPress. This is, again, we're talking about an acquisition where Tumblr has gone through a bunch of owners, and it was owned by Yahoo, and then Yahoo was acquired by Verizon, and then Verizon wanted to sell off all the things that weren't doing very well, like Flickr and like Tumblr. And Automatic, which is the parent company of WordPress, acquired Tumblr in 2019, I believe. And since then, they've been working. They're trying to get it to have some revenue streams so they can pay for itself. They've been adding new features like communities. And it doesn't have a huge user base, but it has a passionate user base. There's a lot of fandom accounts there, lots of blogs. And so what Automatic announced is that they're going to change the back end of Tumblr to WordPress. And this will make it easier for them to maintain and to have updates. And it makes a lot of sense. And they've said that Tumblr users shouldn't notice any difference. So they're not going to change the features or the way it works. Instead, they're just changing how it works on the back end. And this is a massive, massive project. I'll say in their announcement, they said that this won't be easy. Tumblr hosts over 500 million blogs. We're talking about one of the largest technical migrations in internet history. Some people think it's impossible, but we say challenge accepted. They also have posted that they're looking for engineers who would be interested in being involved in this process. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think that WordPress already powers a huge chunk of the internet, and it has a lot of people who contribute to WordPress. So this is probably going to be a good thing if they pull it off. Jolene says that she regularly gets emails from Tumblr with suggestions, but rarely find anything that interests me. And it's a very specific kind of community, and maybe it's your thing, maybe it's not. But there's a lot of fandom things and memes and stuff. It's not really my kind of thing so much, but I think it's great that it's being maintained as a place for people to do this. Other blogging / communities like Medium are much more serious and business-like. So this is great for people who are just having fun. So that is going to be a huge change. And one of the things that people have talked about is that this will allow Tumblr posts to be in the Fediverse. So WordPress has an ActivityPub plugin. You do that, you can share your posts into the Fediverse. This will bring that to Tumblr as well. So that brings me to my next update. Let's fund the Fediverse. This is a brand new service called Sub.Club. Sub.Club is for ActivityPub. Yes, that rhymes. It lets users create paid subscription feeds for the Fediverse. So, for example, for Mastodon and any other platform that uses ActivityPub for communication. And the idea is you can do this to have a subscription feed. Sub.Club only takes a 6% cut of what people are paying, which is very competitive with other sort of subscription funding platforms. It also is set up to allow it to take donations for people who are running servers. So you have a Mastodon instance. I could be running one out of my closet, and this would let me get a little money to help support that. So I think this is sort of a sign that it's growing up. I don't know. And the next thing I wanted to show you again is another Fediverse update. This is on Threads. Now, Threads, as you probably know, is Meta's Twitter-esque platform, but it has Fediverse sharing. You can enable that in your account. And they are slowly implementing these features. And this week, they started showing Fediverse replies to posts so that everyone can see them. And this is Adam Mosseri's post. He asked people to respond from the Fediverse. And as you can probably see, there's his post, and underneath that, it says that there are 277 Fediverse replies from 145 different servers. So this is the promise of the Fediverse, where you can be on your own server, your own platform, you know, the one that has policies you like and so forth, and you can follow people and respond to people who are in different instances. And so if you click the option for the Fediverse replies, you see it says it's a beta. You can see the replies and you can like them. Let's give that a like. You can't respond to them yet, but that's something they're working on. So the idea is that someone will post a response from, say, mastodon.online, Tech Hub Social, verified.coop. There's a whole bunch of different platforms people are posting from, fosstodon.org. And the idea is that you'd be able to respond to them on Threads. So everything would be totally integrated. I think this is kind of exciting. And again, like I mentioned, if you have a WordPress blog, you can use the ActivityPub plugin. That shares things directly to the Fediverse. You don't need to actually post your blog posts in a whole bunch of places. People can follow your blog from their own profile and respond and comment and so forth. So I want to say hi again to everyone who's in the chat today. Andrew says at least all the XX engineers will have a home. Yeah, that's over on Automatic. And Jolyn says that she's truly enjoying Threads. I am too. I've started posting there a lot. I think there's some good conversations. It takes some time to kind of get a good For You feed. You have to tell the system what you're interested in. I block people who are totally stupid and or say I'm not interested, and that has helped a lot. And on eBoard, Nina has said the Fediverse replies update is the most interesting. I can tell I'm kind of excited about that. And welcome to Geeks on Tour. Good to see you here as well. I think that one thing the Fediverse is doing is making it easier for everyone to communicate across platforms. And I think that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to shift gears just really quickly here. And mention that Instagram has a couple new features. They have new fonts and text animations for Reels and Stories. And if you just make posts, you also get an update. You can now customize your photos and carousels and your posts with text and images. Again, you get these new fonts. You can put an image on top of an image. You do that using stickers. So it's kind of nice if you post a lot on Instagram. And now I'm going to shift gears really briefly. I wasn't going to mention this, but it's really happening. Bluesky is having a moment. And as I mentioned, this was posted yesterday. They have 1 million new users in the past 3 days, which is kind of crazy for a very small platform. Almost all of these new users are Brazilian. That's because X, Twitter, is in a dispute with Brazil, and a judge in Brazil said, we're going to ban X. So people have taken this as a sign that they should move to other platforms, and a lot are coming to Bluesky. Apparently, they already had a sort of fairly big group on Bluesky to start with, so more Brazilians on Bluesky. I do check Bluesky, and now there's all these posts in Portuguese in my For You feed. It's kind of fun. One thing that's interesting that I didn't realize is that a lot of the Stan accounts, so this is like profiles that post about a particular celebrity, are run by Brazilians. And all of those are going to stop posting while X is actually banned in Brazil. They also said that, oh, you're not allowed to use a VPN to come in. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this changes the dynamics across lots of different platforms. I imagine some Brazilians are just going to not go anywhere. They'll drop out. Some will probably go to Threads. Some are on Bluesky. There will be a diaspora. So this will be really interesting. Will X decide that the number of users in Brazil is worth following the judge's orders? I don't know. Well, last I read is that Elon Musk was posting bad things about the judge, so maybe not. So the other thing that Bluesky announced this week is that there are new anti-toxicity features on Bluesky. These are kind of an interesting initiative. The idea is that they don't want to be like Twitter, where there's like these pile-ons and angry posting and people kind of get attacked there. It can be bad. So this is supposed to make Bluesky less toxic. If you post something there and someone quotes it, so it's like a quote tweet, everyone can see those quotes, but you as the poster can detach your post from the quote tweet, quote skeet, because it's on Bluesky. All this terminology I can't keep straight. So if you have someone who quoted you, and this person's like, oh, look how stupid this post is, ha, ha, ha. You can just detach your original post from that, and it should prevent some of the pile-ons. It's also possible to remove comments from the replies. This is something that Threads allows people to do as well. So if you post something and you're getting a lot of toxic responses, you can basically remove those so that people can continue to have a normal conversation. In the long term, I don't know how well this actually fixes things, but I think it's worth these platforms trying new things, because sometimes Twitter is really a nasty place. So Andrew says, do you want to bet Musk tries to buy Brazil? Yeah. I wouldn't put anything past him. Just a couple really quick updates to finish up. Google announced that Google Search now supports the AVIF image format. This is a format instead of a PNG or a JPEG. The files are supposed to be smaller while maintaining the quality of the image. They also have transparent images and animated images, like animated GIFs. And the idea is that you have these on your website so that it's smaller. It doesn't take as much to load. The drawback was that Google didn't index those images. Now they do. So if you have WordPress, I think you can use AVIF images. If you're using Blogger, they do not support AVIF images yet. So that's where that stands. The other update I thought was kind of neat. If you use Google Chat, they now have integrations with if this, then that, IFTTT. The idea is that you can link different services together. This option is available to everyone, including with personal Google accounts, except you may need a paid if this, then that account for some of the integrations. And you can see the ones that they recommend. For example, if someone mentions you on X, you could have that automatically make a post in your Google Chat space. Or if someone makes a post on your Discord, you again could have that linked to your Google Chat space. You can use it to post automatic reminders on a specific schedule. You could have it to send emails to your Google Chat space. So I think this is really useful and really opens up using Google Chat for more things. So if you're using Google Chat for your business or for personal, you might want to check out the if this, then that integrations. I think with a free account, you can have two applets that allow the connections. So Andrew says, the AVIF update will make a lot more sense in the future, kind of like when Zip replaced ARC. Yeah, I think that this is important, that it's not like something you have to do right now, but this is on the way to becoming a new standard. So look for that in the future. I also mentioned that if you want to try making AVIF images, you can use Squoosh. Let me put the text up on the screen. This is Squoosh.app. This is a web-based converter where you can upload your image, you can squish it into a smaller image, or you can change the format of the file and save it. So if you want to try, go to Squoosh. Those are the updates for this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. And as some of you know, we've been doing other live streams on eBoard. Today, our live stream is in an hour and 15 minutes. That's 12:15 my time. If you're interested, check it out. We have special guest Kim Nilsson. He's going to talk about security of user accounts on Google Workspace. I think there's likely to be some tips there that are applicable to everyone. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you again next Sunday.